The unforgivable sin. What exactly is it, and how does it exactly apply to us in today's day and age? So in the Gospels, we see blasphemy of the Holy Spirit as the unforgivable sin. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on exactly what they think this is, and the most common verse used for it is Matthew chapter 12, verse 31, in which Jesus says that all forms of sin and blasphemy can be forgiven except blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. Now, if you're a new Christian or someone who doesn't know their Bible too well yet, this can sound quite scary. I must admit, when I was a child and I first heard about this and I didn't really know anything about it, it scared me. I thought, have I committed this sin? What exactly is it? And I was a bit worried. But if you're thinking that way, you've probably definitely not committed that sin. Another verse that I would like to use, because the one misconception is a lot of people think blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is just simple unbelief. But when we look at Mark chapter 3, verse 29, Jesus says that blasphemy against the Holy Spirit is the only unforgivable sin. And the very next verse says it's because they were saying that he had an unclean spirit. Now, exactly what blasphemy of the Holy Spirit was when the religious leaders, the Pharisees at the time, witnessed Jesus' ministry. They witnessed the miracles that he had done, and they attributed it to him being demon-possessed. They said, by Satan, he is casting out Satan. So that was exactly what blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is. You can consider it basically the final form of rejecting God. Now, is that something that we can commit today? In some sense, but not in the sense of how it is used in the Bible, okay? Because we don't witness Jesus' physical earthly ministry now here on earth, we don't blaspheme against him in the physical sense, witnessing everything he's done and saying that he's demon-possessed. But in a way, you can correct me if I'm maybe interpreting this wrong, but in a way, I suppose if you had to read the entire of the Bible and get to the Gospels and read about Jesus' ministry and him casting out demons and healing people, and you had to say, I don't believe any of this rubbish, I think he's just demon-possessed, you're probably committing blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. And how it applies to us today, I would say, is it's just the ultimate hardening of your heart and rejection of the Holy Spirit. Now, because God works in many different ways, he will spend your entire life, the Holy Spirit will convict you of different things, trying to get you to come to Christ. And ultimately, what blasphemy against the Holy Spirit is the complete hardening of your heart and rejection of the truth. Okay, so that is the point that the Pharisees reached when they said that he was filled with unclean spirits, and that's how he cast out other unclean spirits. You're too far gone at that point. Ultimately, there's no coming back from that, because nothing else would be able to prove to you that he is the truth and what he is saying is the truth and that he wasn't demon-possessed. So I would say ultimately, yes, maybe it is something we can commit today, but it would result in us completely rejecting Jesus' truth and the Holy Spirit's conviction on us. I hope this helps, and until tomorrow.